Hello everybody, it is your boy SP Madao, and I'm bringing you another Wi-Fi OU battle. Now this is against a good friend of mine in Pokemonuniverse, and on his channel there's really three guys that upload all Wi-Fi battles, Pokemon battles, all this good stuff. So I'll leave a link in the description, so why don't you please go check them out. So anyway, looking at his team, it's obviously a Sun team. Looking at my team, it's obviously a Rain team. Obviously he has Drought, Ninetales, so I have Drizzle, Politoed. So Sun versus Rain, let's get started with it. Now he's going to decide to lead off with his Aladat or his Darmanitan, as I decide to lead off with my Politoed. Get that Drizzle up right away, which is beautiful. However, at this point I'm just going to go for Protect, really because I know he's definitely either he's Life Orb or Choice, or because he also has the Rotom Wash on his team, so the Rotom Wash could be the defense set with leftovers or Choice. So I don't know which one is which. Now he's just gonna go for the Uten straight off the bat. Obviously it's on the physical defensive one. That's fine by me, as I'm just gonna go straight for the Toxic, thinking that the Ninetales might want to come in, or maybe really anything on his team other than Reuniclus would have been hindered by it. Luckily for me, I do happen to catch his Rotom, and now I'm gonna go for Protect this turn. And now because I happen to land the Toxic on the Rotom, it is revealed to me that this Rotom is not choiced, which means his Darmanitan is most likely the Choice Guard variant, while this Rotom Wash is the more defensive, physically defensive set with leftovers Will-O-Wisp Pain Split. Now I'm going to switch out here knowing that he's Will-O-Wisp Pain Split, blah blah blah, and I'm going to go out into my Celebi because I do have Natural Cure, and he can't really utilize Pain Split as it is, and at the same time I can hit him for some super effective damage in the form of Giga Drain. Now he's going to straight switch out here, and he's going to go out into his Ninetales really just to get the Sun up. However, I make a good play by predicting that, going straight for the U-turn, giving myself Switch Initiative, and allowing my Politoed to set up the Rain again. So right now I'm sitting pretty nicely. However, he will turn the tides on me later on, as you will see. Like I said, I got the Rain up now, and his leftovers activates, which is good by me because every now and again I actually see a Life Orb, Ninetales, and they hit hard, in all honesty. But luckily for me, he's the standard Ninetales. Now he's going to end up switching it in his Reuniclus, which is a good play on his part because obviously since I'm the physically defensive Politoed, he can take every form of hit. However, I do manage to get a crit in the burn. Burn doesn't matter thanks to the fact that Reuniclus obviously has the Magic Guard. But at this point, since the Rain is up, I figured a Rain boosted Stab Scald from even defensive Politoed should be able to kill from that range. Unfortunately, he survives with a very small amount of HP. In fact, in the Skype chat, he told me that he survived with 12 HP exact. So that was incredibly bad luck. Don't know if it was min-max, but at the same time, him surviving kind of made up for the crit, because as you see here, I'm going to go for the Parasong, really hoping that I can stop the possible sweep, because obviously Calm Mind, Trick Room could really hurt my team, as he ends up going back up to near full health, and because of that, obviously the crit didn't matter at the end of the day. So I'm just going to go for the Skull, because I can hit anything that wants to come in for some damage. Happens to be the Rotom Wash. That's actually a pretty good amount of damage, considering I have, what, 6 EVs in special attack, even though the Rain is up, but then again, it's resisted. I'm going to go for Protect this turn. Risk Scout, what he's going to do, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Hydro, Volt Switch, don't know what he's going to do. Now at this point, Volt Switch can come, but at the same time he might Pain Split, so I don't want to send in my Donphan and risk losing my Sturdy, so I'm just going to go out to my Bibi or my Celebi yet again, because it is the safer out of the two options. He ends up going for that Pain Split, which is fine by me, because if I went out to Donphan, like I said, I would have lost 30, I wouldn't have been getting it back anytime soon. Now, at this point, I can hit this thing for some super effective damage in the form of Giga Drain and get some HP back, but I know he's going to switch out like he did last time, so I'm going to go straight for the Thunder Wave this time, trying to catch that Ninetales off guard. That way, later on in the game, my Politoed should be able to outspeed the Ninetales. Luckily for me, what I just said happens, and now, not only will my Politoed be able to outspeed the Ninetales, my Donphan will be able to outspeed, and my Vaporeon will be able to outspeed. So this Ninetales, other than the fact that it's here to set up Sun, is pretty much useless to me now. Now I'm going to end up setting out Politoed now, because once I get my Rain up, he can't do anything outside of Will-O-Wisp or Toxic. He ends up going for that Will-O-Wisp, and it's successfully hitting that Will-O-Wisp, getting a burn on my Politoed. It's actually pretty good, because this is the more defensive stat. I actually rely on my leftovers recovery a lot, so that burn is going to nullify the leftovers and do slightly extra damage, which will at the end of the day actually hurt me a lot. Now I ended up sending out Volcarona, as he ended up sending out Rotom Wash on the same exact turn, which, you know, it's whatever. Rotom Wash can hit me with the Hydro Pump, but I figured he would go for a Volt Switch, thinking that I'm just going to send out Celebi yet again. Unfortunately, he just does the safe play, goes straight for a Hydro Pump. Now, luckily for me, even though the rain is up and that's a Rotom Wash, the Hydro Pump did not KO. I live with a very small amount in the form of 21 HP. Unfortunately, I misclick right here, and I end up going for the Hurricane instead of the Bug Buzz. I meant to go for the Bug Buzz. I don't know if the Bug Buzz would have killed. It might have, but if it did, it would have really actually helped me out a lot. So it would have outsped everything on his team, with the exception of Darmanitan. Now that my Volcarona's gone, and he decided to kill me off with the Volt Switch, I end up getting the switch initiative over him, allowing me to successfully send out my Donphan, as he is obviously forced to U-turn on his Darmanitan. Now, I was fearing the Espeon switch, and however, he just ends up switching out Rotom Wash, just wanting to KO my Donphan, and luckily, I'm able to get my Rocks up. So now that my Rocks up, that Darmanitan can't come in freely as much as it was before. The Ninetales can't come in as freely as it wants to, and on top of that, not only will this Rotom Wash be receiving residual damage from this Toxic, but it'll also be receiving residual damage from the Stealth Rocks. So overall, I need those Rocks up this game. Now, unfortunately, he does Pain Split yet again, which this Rotom Wash is really proving a thorn in my side with that Pain Split. Luckily, Celebi does have Recover, so I'm not too worried about it. But he makes a nice prediction here, predicting me to just go for the U-turn, expecting a switch, as I do that, but I make a nice prediction on my own. It was really a 50-50 chance in going into my Donphan as he went for the Volt Switch. Now, when I said it was a 50-50 chance, it was either Hydro Pump or Volt Switch. Luckily, I chose right, and now at this point, the Hydro Pump is obvious, but at the same time a Volt Switch might be obvious, because it's pretty obvious. Then I'm going to go on to my Celebi. I'm sorry if you guys got confused by everything I just said right there. I would have gotten confused too, but if you stayed with it, good job. But at this point, he's at more HP than my Celebi, and the Toxic is racking up pretty nicely. So I'm just going to go for Recover this turn, expecting him to just go for a Volt Switch. If he wanted to go for the Pain Split, predicting this, good on him. But once again, that Toxic racked up, so I really don't care that much. Luckily for me, he just goes straight for a Hydro Pump, maybe predicting my Donphan or Garchomp to come in again, you know, trying to stall him out with that Volt Switch. But it doesn't matter, because at this point, I pretty much successfully stalled him out with the Toxic, and he's at the range where a Gigadrain can knock him out, as it does just now, which is just beautiful, because this Rotom Wash, like I said before, was a huge pain in my butt, and it was in the way. But now that it's out, not only is one of his switchers, U-turners, Volt Switchers out, but at the same time, my Celebi really has nothing to fear with the exception of the Venusaur. Now, luckily for me, he doesn't get the poison here, and I'm able to successfully Thunder Wave this Venusaur, which is just beautiful. Because if by chance I lost the Weather War, and this Venusaur would have been the worst thing in the game for him to have against my team, it would have completely knocked out my Vaporeon, my Politoed. My Garchomp wouldn't really want to take a +2 Giga Drain from this thing, and the Donphan obviously doesn't want to take it. Luckily for me, he does get paralyzed on this turn, as I expected him to just go for the Sludge Bomb, whatever, trying to stall out some Life Orb. And then I'm going to pull off a nice switch back out of my Celebi, knowing he's probably going to go for the Giga Drain. Unfortunately, except for going for an attack move, he just switches straight out into his Reuniclus. I don't know why he did that. He could have definitely taken an Earthquake. Maybe he thought that because he's part poison, hit for super effective damage, but he's also part for grass, so hit for neutral. He would have definitely been able to take that. But at this point, this Reuniclus is setting up Calm Minds, which is not what I want, because this Reuniclus can go through my team once Trick Room is set up, and even without Trick Room, I really got nothing that wants to take him out in one hit, with the exception of my Garchomp after I get a Swords Dance up, or my Volcarona, but my Volcarona is gone. So, luckily for me, I'm able to get the Parasong on to survive this Psychic, which means I still have a chance to win the Weather War, which is all I needed. Because I don't know if y'all know much about OU, but in OU, when you got two weather teams, you need well, you don't need to, but it's very crucial if your weather is the last one standing, because it gives you a serious advantage over the opponent. Even if you're running a sun team, your opponent's running a rain team, as long as you have that sun up, their water attacks ain't going to be doing much, and you will get the clear advantage. But anyway, let's get back into the game. Now, he's going to call me to go for the recover, going out to his Darmanitan respectively, which is a great play on his part because obviously he can hit me with either ×4 super effective U-turn or stab fire punch. Since the rain is up, he's obviously going to go for the U-turn, so I'm just going to go back out into my Donphan to take that U-turn. As he does indeed do that, unfortunately it does give him switch initiative, but that's really not a big deal. He uses the switch initiative to finally get a sun up after a long time of the rain like taking advantage of this game. And it's not really that big of a deal because he is Thunderwave. Because he's Thunderwave, he's also threatened out by my Donphan. But he ends up predicting me to go out into my Polito just to get the rain up, predicting him to switch, as he decided to stay in, and I'm able to cleanly knock out that Ninetales, which is just beautiful because at this point I won the weather war. All I have to do is send back in my Politoed. Now he ends up sending out his Venusaur, and I could have probably gone for the Earthquake here, but I didn't think it would KO, and at the same time I did not want this Venusaur gaining back all of its HP. Even though I won the weather war, at the end of the day I did not need this thing setting up on me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, luckily for me, he gets paralyzed on this death fodder of my Politoed, allowing me to effectively go out to my Celebi, and he gets double paralyzed, which is just beautiful because, you know, I'm able to save my Parasonger because, like I said earlier, I can't really touch Reuniclus, so Parasong could end up being crucial at the end of the game. Now he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb. Obviously I can take it because I'm a max HP and max special defense. Celebi doesn't get the poison, and at this point he's at a very low amount of HP. He can't Giga Drain because it's not going to do anything, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn, thinking that it would be able to KO. Unfortunately it does not. He lives with a very small amount of HP yet again. And I'm going to send out my Vaporeon, knowing he's not going to go for a Giga Drain, and at the same time I should be able to take a Sludge Bomb. So I take the Sludge Bomb, he kills himself off with the Sludge Bomb, with the Life Orb, and then in comes Reuniclus, and this is a choice spec max special attack, modest natured Vaporeon in the rain. That Hydro Pump cleanly knocks out that Reuniclus, which was very nice because I needed that. That Reuniclus was a big threat, and now that it's gone, I'm not too worried about the rest of his team. Unfortunately for him, I will survive this super power. Obviously, if he would have been Choice Banded, that would have KO'd. But since he's Choice Scarf, and then I'm going to hit the next Hydro Pump and knock out that Darmanitan, which even without the rain, as long as the sun wasn't up, I would have knocked out that Darmanitan. Now in walks his Espeon, and I believe all he has left is his Espeon and yeah, I believe all he has left is his Espeon. I could be wrong on that, please correct me if I am wrong. And at this point, he's setting up both of his screens. He doesn't have any attack moves on that Espeon, he told me, so that's kind of bad luck on his part. And look, even with the light screen up, look at that damage. That is powerful. That Hydro Pump from Vaporeon is just powerful. Now, unfortunately, his only way of healing is hindered by the rain, and I'm going to hit my Hydro Pump. I'm going to easily be able to KO the Espeon, leaving it my victory. Oh, my fault. Well, it will be my victory, you guys can already tell. So that's Good Game Pokemonuniverse. I'm going to try to get more Wi-Fi battle, guys. I'm going to try to upload more. It's just, you know, I've been enjoying life. You can trust me on that. I've just been enjoying life. And, I've been playing a lot of PC games, actually, lately. You're going to kind of have to get back into pokes. But anyway, I'm SP Madao, and I'll see y'all later.